This is Season 3 of The Score, the Team Roping Journal's regular podcast, where the team roping world talks. We've told the stories of some of the greatest cowboys, horses, and moments in the sport, and we're so far from done. In 2020, we'll bring you more of what you've come to expect, like interviews with the best cowboys and cowgirls we know, and we'll dive even deeper into subjects you care about. Look for more audio editions of the Team Roping Journal stories you might have missed in print, and learn about the great horses shaping the sport and great challenges facing our industry. All this and more in 2020. I'm Chelsea Schaefer. Kolton Schmidt's episode from Season 2 was one of your most listened to editions of The Score in our history. In it, he talked about how he'd struggled since making the finals in 2016 and how he'd rebuilt his horse program and his roping in an effort to get back on top. Now it's time for him to reap the benefits of all that effort. He's 12th in the PRCA's world standings heading into the last 2 weeks of rodeo's regular season with $45,555 won. He's back on Badger, the former PRCA AQHA Horse of the Year that he virtually had to restart in 2017 after his first finals. And Kolton's preparing to marry the girl of his dreams in early October. Kolton stopped by my house after a trip to the vet during some late summer downtime in Colorado, and he told me about his season, his partnership with Hunter Koch, and how he's made it work this year despite more adversity globally than cowboys have ever faced. Enjoy this interview of The Score with Kolton Schmidt. Before we get started on today's episode, it's brought to you by Equinety. Visit www.teamequinety.com. You can learn all about this amazing product, solid supplement foundation for all your horses, used by Tyler Wade and Patrick Smith. www.teamequinety.com, and we will tell you more about it in the commercial break. Hi, Kolton.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. It's been a while since we did this.
Yeah, it has. A few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, a few things have changed.
Lots.
The world has changed.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the last time we talked, if anybody listened to that episode, it's constantly one of everybody's favorites. I get so much good feedback on it because you were so honest about everything you had going on. You were battling back, essentially, as far as your horsemanship and your roping and everything you were working on. Tell me what has transpired in the last year and a half to get you to this point right now. What are you in the world? Do you check often?
I looked this week just because last week was a pretty big week, and we're 10th, or I'm 10th right now anyways. So, yeah, just same stuff is going on. I think that battle's never going to end. You know, the learning and the growing and all that stuff, but sometimes we see the light at the end of the tunnel, or there's glimpses of light which weren't there before. So seeing a little bit of a return on the work that we've put in is sure a sigh of relief right now.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a lot about all those little things, but where did you hit this year? Have you guys just been placing everywhere?
Yeah, so the winter was good. We made every short round except for Fort Worth. We caught a lot of steers. We won good money. We didn't win huge money, but I feel like we won money the proper way. We made a lot of good runs. We caught a lot of steers, and then we got out here in July. We picked away, but it was kind of slow. And then it's turned around now. We've had a few good weeks. Not great weeks, but good weeks, and kind of keeping us where we're at.
And the horses, Badger?
Yep.
For all year? Or?
I've been riding Badger, and then I've been riding a horse named Phil of Bert and Megan McGill's. And I rode Badger pretty much everywhere, but the places I haven't, I've rode that sorrel, and he's done good.
Did you think, like I know, like when we talked last, you were putting quite a few horses together.
Yep.
Badger was like you were like, I got all this new horse and this new horse and this new horse. Oh, and I mean I still have Badger,
right?
But like, how did Badger gain his spot at number one?
I just think through trial and error, and you know, I don't know. I think he's a special horse, and he's amazing to me. I don't know what everybody else sees in him, but I trust him. I know what he does, and I know that we fit each other, and I have more confidence in anything when I'm on his back. So that's kind of how he got it and keeps his spot. I feel like when the money's up, or we're anywhere that it truly counts, which I think is everywhere, I want to be on him, and just, I don't know, that's how he keeps it, I guess.
How do the setups, so describe the way the rodeos have been set up this year, because they're a little bit different.
Right.
And then how do they fit you, and how have you been successful at them?
So at the beginning of the year, we had long barriers everywhere. At the beginning of the summer, our director had the barriers set long, and I felt like it's harder, but it kind of felt like when you had a great horse, you were benefit for that. And I feel like we won pretty good the first 2 weeks we were out here because of that. My horse was awesome. The scores were long. He needed a lot of horse, and I had that. And then now he has shortened the barriers so that they're even everywhere, and it's kind of a quicker start. And that kind of just almost resembles what Badger and I grew up doing. It's kind of a little bit more like Canada. Mm-hmm. So now I kind of feel like we're back at home too. So that's why I like that horse so much. I feel like he can fluctuate through everything. I think it takes a special horse to ride him at the BFI to the shorter setups, and he's been that. So I think that's pretty special.
Yeah. And how's he built? I'm trying to picture Badger in my head. Like, what physically makes him able to do that?
He's strong underneath of himself, and like you look at him, he's compact and he's real stout. I think that's really special. Like great horses like Riley Minor's Bob, he's real short, he's compact, but underneath of himself they're just huge horses. And I think being so athletic and having so much extra power, I guess you would say, I think that's what kind of composes them of being really good.
Now, how did you and Hunter?
Hunter dates my sister.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. So last year when we were in Stephenville, I was roping with Jeremy and he was roping with Matt, and our partners were in Arizona. So we just practiced together, and then we were second partners. We roped together every day, we jackpotted, and we had a good run, and we won quite a bit jackpotting together. So we've talked about it a lot, and like I think you and I talked about it too, is having a partner that is there every time. You know, like you see the great teams that Austin Robertson's on Tuesdays or the BFI, they're always roping together, and I think that has a lot to do with successful teams. So we talked about that and kind of weighed our options, and we thought that would be the best bet. I think it is worth a lot getting to practice together every day, and then if it's $150 man or the BFI, we're roping together, and it kind of just feels like I know what he's going to do and he knows what I'm going to do, and I think that's worth a lot. What are the dynamics of roping with your sister's boyfriend? Is that weird? No, it hasn't gotten weird yet. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. No, it's been good so far. We've become good friends before we were team roping partners, so I think we have a good foundation of our relationship, and we kind of know how each other work. So I think we're pretty fortunate for what we have. We get along good. We have a good run. We can talk about stuff, so I'm pretty happy with it. How many steers do you guys rope a day, like at home, when you're at home and practicing? What's your practice look like? A lot. We rope a lot, yeah. I don't run a ton on my good horses, but I've always had some traders or some practice horses, and we usually have 30, 40 steers, and I'd say they go through there 4 or 5 times a day. So I don't know what our number is, but I know it's a lot. We put in full days worth of it. Now, your fiance, right? Still fiance. You guys haven't got married yet. No. No, we haven't broke up either. No. So. I wasn't going that route. She's a personal trainer, right? Yes. Do you have a fitness program with her? No, I had one. She had me going, and then we got home and I started riding horses, and I fell off track fast. You did? Yeah. There are guys that like Trevor has a Peloton. I don't know if he would admit that. Yeah. Like Trevor has a Peloton. So does Wesley Thorpe. I don't know if he'd admit it either, but yeah, now everybody knows. Wesley Thorpe has a Peloton. Breaking news. Yeah, mark it down. That's awesome. Yeah, so fitness hasn't been, but you're not old yet. Like us old people have to. Honestly, I think I know I need to. My dad's always on me about that, because my dad, when he was my age, he was playing junior hockey, and he was in great shape, like the best shape you could be for our age. And my dad's not fat, but he's not in shape anymore, and he always complains about how he lost his core, and he has back problems now, and he's always on me about that. He said it's easy when you're your age, but if you don't stay on top of it, it's going to be a problem when you look down the road. And you see guys that are successful in anything that we do, or any sport, that stay around a long time. Like, you said Trevor. I mean, he's not a young man anymore, and I guarantee
You're
he's
right,
in better
he's
in better shape than I am. You know what I mean? Like, and I think there's a lot to that, and I need to stay on
a gym.
Yes. Yeah. And I have that. Like, that's there. I mean, it's right there. It's strictly me being lazy. Like, I'm not a lazy person, but I have to be more, I guess, I don't know what the word is. I need to do it, I guess. It's the opportunities are there, and I'm just not taking advantage of it.
So we know fitness has not been part of your downtime this year.
Yes.
What else has been part of your...
It's been a crazy year because we only go to 3 or 4 rodeos a week, unlike last year or years before. But I swear that we've drove more this year than we ever have. Like, it's smaller rodeos and more miles, it feels like, because we're just entering everything that we can. So I feel like we drive all day, and then if we do have any sorts of downtime, Hunter and I like to play golf, so we go play golf.
Very good.
Yep.
As far as the rodeos go, and the way that I don't know how much you involve yourself in like the politics of rodeo. Equal money is always a big conversation.
Yep.
This year has kind of been a challenge for it. You guys have had to go to smaller rodeos that weren't adding equal money. Is this just kind of the year that you think everybody needs to just buckle down and go to whatever they can go to? What has been your take on it?
See, the mindset of that always changes, and because at the beginning of the year, it was a normal year, right? So you're worried about your rodeo count, all that kind of stuff. And then this virus hit, and then you don't know if they're having an NFR. So then you're like, do I need to drive that extra 10 hours to get to a rodeo? And then you start craving rodeo, and so we went over the 4th of July, and then next thing you know, you're out here, and you're like, well, I've already bid off all this.
Yeah.
You're like, you just have to be a part of it. So I don't know. I was so determined this year and had my goal set on making the NFR. I feel like we previously talked about, but like things were turning around. So I was all in. You know, like it was whatever we have to do to be a part of it at the end of the year, whatever it is, I want to do that. But it is frustrating, and it's hard not to kind of question what we're doing sometimes when we still don't know where it is. You know what I mean? But if I'm at home, I have to find something else to make money.
Yeah.
And we're out here. I have great sponsors and great people that are behind me. And, I mean, there's nothing else that I'd rather be doing or could be doing. So this is where we are.
Equinety Horse XL and Equinety Ultimate OEC help keep horses' bodies in the best shape possible when competing and going down the road. Equinety Horse XL is made up of 100% pure amino acids specifically formulated to give the body what it needs in order to promote repair at a cellular level. The Equinety Ultimate OEC is a flaxseed-based omega-3 with natural vitamin E and colloidal silver all in one, which makes for a very powerful antioxidant, helps to neutralize free radicals, and helps to reduce inflammation. Guys like Tyler Wade and Patrick Smith are using Equinety going up and down the road. Barrel racers are using it like crazy. It's a product used globally, and it is hitting the roping market in a big way. Can't wait for you to learn more at teamequinety.com. It isn't like anybody just said, nah, this year isn't worth it and stayed home.
Right.
It's not like you're not going against the top guys in the world everywhere.
No, everywhere.
You're going.
I mean, Luke Brown has $90,000 won or whatever he has won. I mean, he has the finals made in a normal year, and we still rope against Luke Brown every week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guys that do it for a living, which is all of us, I mean, we're here. Like, there's nothing else or nowhere else to go. So if they have a rodeo, we enter it, and I mean, that's the way we make our money.
Yeah. I mean, thinking toward December, in theory,
Yep.
the NFR is going to look a lot different no matter what.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what to think about it. Like, you know, they're saying that maybe there's going to be $5,000 go-rounds. Well, I mean, there's so many rumors going around. Do you tune the rumors out pretty much, or are you kind of engaged in
well, no, I mean, it's hard. It's hard not to listen to them, but like I just said, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the money's huge, obviously. That's the whole deal. And we've always said, like, we've told Calgary this forever, like, we'll rope in a parking lot. Just let us rope for the money.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard not to get a little bit down knowing that we're going to be roping for less, but it's still the NFR. It's still the end of the means, you know what I mean? It's still everything. So, no, try to just block that out and
Yeah,
just try to make sure that we have a chance of being there.
A gold buckle's going to look the same.
Exactly.
They're not
Yep.
going to make a special gold
Yeah,
buckle
they're not
for this
just
year.
going to put a check mark beside it.
Yeah.
You know, it's still like you said, it's still a gold buckle.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting though, like if the NFR does not pay near as much, Luke's going to be pretty hard to catch.
Yeah, that's another thing that's going to be a big deal. But like, I mean, we don't have a say in it,
Sure, yeah.
so be a part of it, hopefully.
And I really think if there's anybody that like deserves a gold buckle,
Yes.
I would love it to be Luke Brown at some point.
Luke
so
Brown deserves one.
he deserves
yes.
a gold buckle.
He's won everything else, and you know that guy works hard as anybody. So yeah, he's
the greatest guy. Yeah, he deserves it.
He deserves it.
But who knows? They could come
Yeah,
up
but
with
I mean,
the city of Dallas.
he doesn't deserve it by just getting it.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, he's
absolutely.
still gonna have to rope against everybody else.
Yep.
So, like you said, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I mean, yeah, but nobody knows. I mean, we don't know anything.
Yeah, and it's such a weird time. Do you wish I mean, obviously we wish things were different. Do you wish anything were being handled differently as far as like...
Well, it's easy to say that we wish we knew what the PRCA was thinking, you know, of where it is or what they're doing. But the scary thing to think about is parts of me believe that we know what they know. You know what I mean? Like this... Nobody can predict what's going to happen tomorrow in this whole deal, so it's frustrating to drive across America and not know where the end is on this whole deal. But I wonder if they're saying the same thing. You know, like, yeah, we wish we could tell you guys more, but we know, you know what we know. So I don't know. I mean, if they know a lot, I wish we knew a lot.
Yeah.
But a part of me is saying we know what they know. It just sucks for both parties.
Yeah, thank goodness though that there have still been the committees in Alamosa, Colorado, and Gunnison, and
it's amazing. Like we've been to so many new rodeos this year that I've never been, and it's gonna suck when the rodeos go back and you have to pick the better rodeos that we can't support the rodeos that were doing this for us. So, I mean, all we can do is tell them thanks, because when it comes down to it, hopefully next year it's a normal year. We have to go to the best 65, but I mean, I just hope they understand that we're grateful for them giving us the opportunity to actually go somewhere this year.
Now, with things the way they are in Canada, have you been able to, can you go back home?
I can, but like my fiance Katie can't, Hunter can't. Americans can't just drive across the border. You could fly, but you can't drive, and then you'd have to quarantine when you're there for the 2 weeks. So I haven't been home since Christmas.
Are you homesick?
Yeah, I miss my family.
I bet.
Yeah. Because usually I get to spend all of May and June up there with them. Usually they're tired of me and I'm tired of them, you know, but now I miss them.
Yeah, I bet. As far as young horses go, what are you doing to make sure 5 years from now you're not afoot?
Yeah, that's the scary part. You know, I'm going through that. I feel like everybody goes through that. You know, everybody always says the second you're not looking, you fall behind. I'm excited about the future of the horses that I have. I bought one last fall at the Canadian Finals from a guy named Kenton Fawcett. And he's 7. He's a big, pretty bay. And I've jackpotted on him a lot. I just didn't think he was ready to rodeo on. But that's there's a lot lying on him. I'm excited about him, and I'm always looking. I mean, Dad's always looking. There's people looking.
You're not going to breed yet?
No. I don't think I'm quite patient enough yet to do all that. And I wish I was. You know, I really do wish I had the patience to sit there and deal with the 4 and the 5-year-olds, but I don't think I rope good enough.
4 and the 5-year-olds.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not dealing with the babies.
1 and the 2-year-olds.
Yeah, that's going somewhere else. So I feel right now I still need to be riding old practice horses and old horses at rodeos that they do their deal, and I can still worry about my head. You know, someday I think it'd be really cool to do the young stuff and the seasoning and everything like that, but I don't think I had good enough for that. I think I need all the help I can get.
Well, so my next question then is going to be stupid, I guess. But are you showing any horses at the Rope Horse Futurity for anybody?
No, I'm helping though.
You're helping.
Yep. Last year during the Canadian Finals, we won the Futurity that my dad puts on, or Hunter won it on my dad's horse. And part of the winning that, you got a free entry into the deal at Fort Worth. So we're going to show that horse. And Hunter has a young one that he's showing, so I'm going to help with 2 of them.
Oh, good.
Yep.
What horse is your helper horse?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, either the Bert and Megan McGill horse or that bay, I think, right now. Because when I get home, I'm going to probably give this black some time off. So it'll be one of those two.
Now, Bert's horse. Bert's a friend of both of ours.
Yep.
He's about as cool as they come.
Yeah, questionable in Megan, but Bert, yes.
You know, there are people that I would assume wouldn't hear that, but Megan will.
Yes, she will be mad.
She's a fan.
Yeah.
I love it. That's true. They're awesome people. Bert is a horse trainer in California.
Yes.
And circuit rodeos a little bit.
Yep.
So what else do people not know about Bert?
He's a good man. Yeah, he's a good man. He helps with as much as they can. Even Megan, she's a handful. The biggest pain in the world. But when it comes down to it, then you need anything from those two, they're the easiest phone call to make. And I'm grateful for them to be friends. And yeah, I feel like I could call them with anything, and them two would help. And they work hard. They got a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors that they're always moving. They're always working. And he still has his foot into this horse deal. And I think that's pretty cool for what he all has going on. And we're going to start seeing a lot more of them, I think. You know, like Brenton Hall has one that's a pretty special horse. And I'm getting to ride this Phil. And Cody Snow was riding the bay they called Sleepy last year at all the jackpots in Stephenville. And like, I think it's starting to come out now. They're starting to see him.
That's cool. What does he do so well with his horses?
I mean, he ropes good and he puts his time in, but I think what the biggest thing Bert has going on is he starts with the right material. I mean, he buys them right. He buys the right product. They're built right. They're broke. And I mean, he does a good job of showing them the ways, but I think he starts with a good piece of equipment that makes a huge deal.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Now, the rest of the year, we're recording this on September 1st.
Yep.
30 days left. How many rodeos do you have left to go to at this point?
I think 10 or 15. Maybe a little more, but right around that.
The tour finale, that's going to be in Rapid City this year, right? How's that going to work? Have you been following it? Do you feel like you had a good grasp on what was going on with the tour? And
yeah, I mean, for what we know, but it's going to be pretty similar to Puyallup, I think. It's guaranteed 2, and then a long round, and then a short round, and all the money's in the last deal. So it's going to be a big thing, you know, when it comes down to it, because the only rodeos that are really going on or even workable that weekend are Stephenville and Rapid City. So there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff happening right there.
Yeah, I miss Puyallup. Like, that was the way that the season ended at Puyallup. It made sense. It was like
you're already in the Northwest.
Yes.
Yeah. But you can't just base off of
Yeah.
This year is so different.
I know,
you know,
it's so different. And Omaha, like, I miss the way everything used to wrap up years ago in Omaha.
Right. I never got to go to Omaha, but they said it was cool.
It was cool. Like, you just went, and unless you were 15th, like 14th and 15th, then you went to California and did all the crazy stuff. But it was nice to just go to Omaha, and like, there were so many times where we wrote the story where the guy that was 20th won Omaha and made the finals. So it's anyways, it'll be nice to have a tour finale.
It'll be cool.
Pretty meaningful this year.
Rapid Cities, but when we had the rodeo there last week, and there was a ton of people at the rodeo, things were normal. Like, it was a really good deal, and I think it'll be cool to have it there.
Is it going to be in the outdoor arena or the indoor arena?
I don't know. The rumor was when we were there it was going to be in the big indoor, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I haven't seen. Well, Kolton, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was fun as always.
It was fun as always. Again, this show was brought to you by Team Equinity, www.teamequinity.com. That's their products are Equinity Horse XL and Equinity Ultimate OEC. Find more about them at teamequinity.com.